Currently sat in 4th place, and after having a Patreon member ask me to make this for them, we are going to have Russell Martin's 4-3-3. Absolutely flying in the championship, currently sat in 4th place, playoffs basically secured. Today we recreated that inside of Football Manager and actually maintained a 97% win rate at its very best. And Southampton fans, you might want to stick around because I think you're going to be quite happy, but be sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. Let's go right into it. We don't usually do championship managers, so let's see what we can do. Picking things off first with Southampton, all the way to the Carabao Cup final, where unfortunately, although we didn't win it, we only lost by 2 against Liverpool, which I don't think is a bad start at all to the season. But what I will say is, and Southampton fans, prepare yourself, we actually come out and win the Sky Bet Championship, not through the playoffs. We only lose 3 games against the likes of Cardiff, Ipswich and Leicester, 2 of them being really, really good teams, of course, but we come out and absolutely outclass everyone. A 15-point advantage at the top, and to be honest, there was a bit of me in real life where I thought Southampton might get the job done by automatics. Obviously, that is not the case now. Obviously, Leicester and Ipswich looking likely to get that done. But overall, still a very, very good season in real life, regardless of that. Rothwell picks up 29 goals, and it is going to be Sulemana coming in with 23. I probably butchered that. I do apologise if I have. He also picks up the highest average rating, and Rothwell picks up 2nd place. We also pick up the most assists with 17, and Bazanzu picks up the most clean sheets, who, by the way, is one quality keeper in Football Manager. Team stat-wise, we are going to look. It's going to be the most points per game at 2.54, the most goals at 147, the most shots at just shy of 800, the fewest shots against at 302, very close with Leicester there, the fewest conceded, and the most clean sheets. So possession-wise, also actually quite surprising. I was not expecting that. 58% of the ball, so we are literally having good possession, good amount of goals being scored, good amount of shots, defensively solid. You can't really want much more, and I'm pretty sure the data hub is going to back me up even further, and it is 3.2 goals a game, only 0.78 conceded, so you know, we're absolutely dominating when it comes to that regard. Over 17 shots every single game, a good pass completion, a decent tackle win ratio. Yes, I've seen slightly better, but it's basically in the 80 mark, which is quite decent to be fair. And as you can see right now, we are scoring a high number of goals per 90 compared to the league average, which is why we're outclassing everyone. I've picked this game out because it is against Premier League side Brentford, and we, in this Carabao Cup quarter-final, we come out and absolutely smoke them, going 1-0 up inside of the first minute. We then go again inside of 8 minutes. Great play down the right-hand side, by the way. Shocking from De Silva there. Great bit of press from us as Brooks goes inside and sticks it into the bottom left-hand corner. No response from Brentford at all. And we go again before half-time. Smallbone into Bednarek, who drives over the top into Brooks, who, by the way, had a fantastic season. We then go just after half-time. 46 minutes played again, and look who it is. It is Starman Brooks on the ball in so much space, gets it back into Smallbone, back in the middle, and it's a fantastic header. What a game. We then go over to Celtic, where we are going to win the Viaplay Cup in 1-0 fashion over Aberdeen. The Scottish Cup on penalties against Rangers, quite a close game. Not an awful display in the Champions League, obviously getting out of the group stage, but unfortunately, Porto do knock us out. Real talking point, the actual league, Rangers fans, I would pause the video temporarily, do come back though for the tactic, but we actually go invincible, winning 36 out of 38 games and drawing the other 2. 110 points, 114 goal difference. This star boy here is absolutely incredible in Football Manager with 25 goals. McGregor, and it is going to be Hatate in 2nd and 3rd when it comes to the average rating. Riley with the most assists and McGregor in joint 2nd. Joe Hart picking up the most clean sheets. I did not think I would ever say that in another tactic video in my entire life, so it does just prove Celtic can surprise you. Possession-wise, yeah, 69% of the ball. Now, this is what can happen in the Scottish League. Not many teams play that way, so if you take a tactic that can have that sort of approach about it, you can absolutely dominate. So 69% of the ball, the fewest conceded at 15, the most clean sheets at 26, best part, I mean, literally we're the best at everything, apart from most tackles and the most dribbles. The most shots, the most goals, which is a very good stat line to have, and of course the most points per game. I'm going to be honest, I'm a little bit shocked by this. I was not expecting 69% of the ball. That is absolutely incredible. Data hub wise, 3.39 goals a game, 0.39 conceded a game, just under 17 shots, a great pass completion, and an even better tackle win ratio. I am absolutely buzzing with this. Great amount of possession, great amount of goals, good defensively. There's nothing really we could improve on, maybe apart from that Champions League. I will show you a game against Rangers, obviously a bit more of an entertaining one. There's 6 goals in this one, and we get off to a flyer of the start here. Inside of 2 minutes, it's going to be Forrest who sticks it past Butland. To be fair to Rangers, they do come back literally about a minute and a half after, and it's a shocker of a bit of defending from Scales there, as it is going to be Campbell who goes through and stuffs it past Hart. Quite a good comeback, to be fair to them. But of course, we've got a bit about us as well. Kyogo plays it through into Rio. So much space, great vision, into the bottom left-hand corner. Nothing they can be doing about that one. And we go again with a set piece. I will say to anyone that's interested, my set piece video is going to be out this week. It's really, really good. So trust me, you do want to get that because it absolutely cooks. A lot of fun to play with. Trust me on that one. Obviously, they do come back with a goal there. That is going to be 3-2, but we have got time for one more goal in the 94th minute by himself. He goes alone. Nothing Butland can do. Take Hanover, a team predicted to finish in 6th place in the Bundesliga 2, and we actually get them automatically promoted, 1 point off winning the entire league, also getting to the semi-finals of that Pokal, but the main attraction obviously being this Bundesliga here. Getting automatic promotion with a team like Hanover with 0 silence is a very, very impressive sign to me that the tactic is going to work very, very well. And of course, only 1 point behind Schalke, who, by the way, it is nice to see them go back up to where they belong. Second top goal scorer coming in, we love to see that, and also picking up the most clean sheets. In terms of the stats, I don't imagine it's going to be as convincing. Fewer shots against, and obviously defensively, actually, we were actually the best in the league, which is really good to see. But most goals, we're going to be in second by 2 goals, not too bad. Possession in 4th place. I'll take that because, again, I was not expecting this tactic to have a lot of possession at all. So 69% is still a bit of a shocker, in my opinion. Of course, not as dominant, I will be honest, but defensively, clearly is where we did stand out. We scored enough goals to get by. And like I said, promotion is ours. I'm not going to complain at all. Data hub-wise, we are going to go and have a little look. That is going to be 1.62 goals per game. Only 0.71 conceded. Over 11 shots. Maybe with a tactic or a team like this, I would advise having shoot more often on some of your players, which I will talk about, obviously, in the tactic breakdown. Just to boost it up a little bit, which probably would result in a few more goals, a great pass completion, and a fantastic tackle win ratio. Now, over to a game against Hertha Berlin, a decent side obviously in the Bundesliga 2. We come out away from home and beat them 4-0, getting off to a great start inside of 17 minutes right there. We then bounce back again, and we come in, and I mean, this was just really good pressing, to be honest. One thing I will say about this tactic, oh, what a finish. One thing I will say about this tactic is the pressing in it is so intense, a lot of teams simply can't hack playing you against it. It is very difficult to play against. As we win it back then, it's going to be Nielsen, I believe how you say that, goes through and sticks it into the bottom right hand corner. And a bit of set piece action again. I will say that set piece video is coming out. I will plug it because I've seen so many people demand it, and it is coming, I promise. Now over to your favourite part of the video, that is going to be the tactic breakdown. If you are enjoying, be sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe. And if you want to join the other 3,500 people, you can come over and sign up to the Patreon in the description. At the moment, we have got a massive giveaway, the biggest giveaway I've ever done, and also you get access to all 3 of these tactics. You get the console tactics, the mobile tactics, you get the tactics early, you get priority in your tactic requests, which is this one as a great example. You get the rebuild files, you get priority in the rebuild requests, you get tactical help, you also get so many more perks, there's too many to mention. You can come over and join the other, like I said, 3,500 people. We've got a massive live chat, we're all talking, talk tactics, talk Wonder Kids. Come over and get involved, the link is going to be in that description. But kicking things off with the Russell Martin 4-3-3. We are going to have a sweeper keeper set to attack on this occasion, so he is going to be quite an aggressive keeper, so make sure you've got a keeper that has got that about him. If not, dropping down to a supportive duty, it will still play fine, but obviously if you can, have a goalkeeper that is quite confident because it will help quite good. The wing back on the right is going to be simply set to the default, so he is naturally going to get further forwards. The ball playing defender on the right is going to be on the default, as is the left hand side. The wing back on the left is also going to be set to the default as well. I didn't really have too much of an influence over these because, to be honest, going forwards, a lot of the work is done by the inverted winger and the inside forwards, but naturally just having them on support, they are going to get further forwards anyway, meaning they are going to become involved in the play regardless of having 1 instruction or 20 instructions. A DM is going to come in and he's simply going to be on support as well, nice and simple. A central midfield player is going to come in again simply on support. Nice and simple, nothing really to talk about there. The Mazzala comes in, again, simply on a default. Again, there is nothing crazy about this. It's not the most out there crazy looking system, to be honest with you. It's quite basic, but it gets the job done really, really well. The inverted winger, again, is going to be set to the default. Nothing too crazy there. Again, he's going to be dribbling more. He's going to be cutting in. He's going to be getting further forwards. We don't really need anything else from him. And the inside forward on the right, again, is going to be set to that default instruction. So it might look a little bit crazy that there's no wild instructions on them, them, but they get the job done. And like I said, with the inside forward, he's got 5 instructions anyway. We don't need to be adding them purely for the sake of it. But the deep lying forward, again, is going to be on the default, purely because he does what I want him to do. Hold up the ball, move into the channels. They're literally the 2 things I want him to be doing. We don't need to add instructions purely for the sake of it. It's off the custom gegenpress on the positive mentality. We are going to leave this in the middle, set to fairly wide. Focus down the left and the right is going to be crucial in a tactic like this. We are going to play out from the back as well. This is going to be down to shorter, match with that higher tempo. And on this occasion, we're not going to have low crosses, because I don't really play like that in my opinion. We're going to have mixed crosses with work ball into the box on. So it's a nice mixture of a very aggressive high pressing tactic, which is going to create good quality chances, because you're going to work the ball into the box and not just take little pop shots, which is why also the wingers don't usually have shoot more often on. That is purely down to you if you wish to add it. Transition, nice and simple. We're simply going to play to anybody across the back line. We're not going to have a preferred distribution type. We're not going to have a real favouring goalkeeper in possession. This we're going to leave blank, but we are going to have the counter press on. Out of possession, we are going to whack this all the way up to that much higher defensive line. Don't worry, it's not going to be a mid block. We are going to have the high pressing line of engagement. This is not going to be maxed out, but set to more often, and we are going to step up more with that defensive line. Like I said, very aggressive. If you watch these play in the championship, sometimes they almost start in the opposition's half. It is crazy. Very high line, but it works really, really well. Now over to the attacking variant of this tactic. The sweeper keeper, of course, is going to remain the same. The wing back on the right and the left are going to be buffed massively, as in they're going to have a lot more responsibilities, stay wider, run wide, dribble more, and take more risks, meaning they're going to be very involved in the link-up play now, so make sure you've got good wing backs who can do this. If not, have them simply on the default instruction, as I did in the previous variant. The ball-playing defenders are going to remain exactly the same, because like I said, the wing backs now are going to be very aggressive. We can't also have them ball-playing defenders going up on dribble more. A deep line playmaker comes into the system simply on support, a default Mazzala on the left, and a central midfield player is now going to be set to attack with 3 instructions of dribble more, roam from position, and move into the channels, meaning that again we've also made the midfield a little bit more attacking. Obviously changing that supportive central midfield player to an attacking option, meaning the inside forward on the right and the left, or the inverted winger on the left, are also going to be set to attack, but on the default again. Not shoot more often, because in this system, I wouldn't say that's really accurate to how they play. But if you've got like Mbappe on the left, for example, obviously you want to utilise it, so make sure you have shoot more often on. But it all depends on how realistic you want to play, and the deep lying forward does simply remain on attack. Based off the custom gegenpress on the attacking, so from positive to attacking, this remains the same. We're still going to focus down the left and the right while playing out from the back. This is also going to be the same, because we can't change it. It's how he plays. I don't want to make it too different, otherwise it will not be accurate at all. We're going to go to shorter with the directness. We're going to max out the tempo, but this time, not only are we going to be more expressive, we are also going to run at defense. In transition, a few things have changed. This remains exactly the same though, in terms of the distribution type, but we are going to play it out quickly now. We are going to counter, and of course, this ain't going to change. Lastly, a few changes in out of possession. We are going to have the high pressing line of engagement, and of course, as expected, we're not going to be changing the defensive line. That is still going to be much higher. This, however, is going to be maxed out. We're going to get stuck in, and we're going to step up more. Just having this maxed out and the addition of get stuck in is really going to elevate this team into a high presser machine. I will say you are going to be more defensively vulnerable, but if you are chasing a game, you got no option but to take risks. You got no choice. Lastly, to defend those games out, we are going to deploy again a 4-3-3, of course, a Russ and Martin style defensive system. The goalkeeper does remain exactly the same. The wing back on the right and the left now are going to be set to defend. No attacking duties whatsoever. Both of the ball playing defenders are simply going to be on default as well. So the back four is simply going to be to shut up shop. The DM is going to come in on defend on the default again to protect this back four. Don't go forward, don't do anything crazy, purely to protect that back four. The box to box comes in, a perfect role to have in the team on tackle harder and mark tighter, because he's going to contribute going forwards, but of course it is going to be another player who is going to come back and also help defend. The Mazzala is going to be on support, on tackle harder, and also mark tighter. A lot of these players are going to be on mark tighter, as you can see with these two, and it will eliminate a lot of the passing options in the midfield, because they're going to be man marking their players. Inverted winger on the left is going to be set to shoot more often, and on the right is going to be the same. Now, the reason I've got this in a defensive one is because we're not going to have as many shooting chances, so I'd rather them go for them now, sort of have a crack at goal, maybe it goes in, maybe we get a set piece, for example, because at the end of the day, we're not going to be creating endless chances, so it makes sense to have little pop shots here and there. And the deep lying forward is going to be on support with the addition of hold position. Again, the custom gegenpress, but this time set to balanced. That is all the way down to balanced. We're going to focus down the left and the right. We're still going to play out from the back. It's going to go down to shorter with a standard tempo. We're going to work the ball into the box with the mixed crosses, and we are still going to have run at defence on because we still want to go out and potentially score goals, but this is much more of a lower tempo counter-attack inside now. In transition, a few things change. What doesn't change is going to be the distribution type. What does change is we're going to go to hold shape, we're going to slow the pace down, and we are going to counter-press. So again, a bit more possession-orientated now, not as direct on the counter-attack, and just slow things down a little bit. Lastly, and probably the biggest change out of all of the tactics, the high press does remain, but the line is now going to be all the way down to standard, and this is simply going to be it. Nice and default, standard in the middle, nothing crazy going on at all. A very basic possession-based 4-3-3, which as you can see by the shape, is going to dominate the ball in midfield, not create loads and loads of chances, but going to be very defensively solid. And that is going to complete for you 3 variants of the Russell Martin 4-3-3 as requested, which I honestly had a lot of fun making. I've never actually watched them. I've done a ton of research, so hopefully it is accurate. If you have enjoyed, be sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications, and keep the comments coming on what you want to see below. And again, if you do want to show some support to the channel, you can do so by joining the Patreon in the description, but also you get over 13 things back for yourselves. So I'll leave it up to you, but I'll be seeing you in the next one.